Hello and welcome back to Team Liquid's strategy guide series for Vault of the Incarnates. I am Telegon and with me today is Eiya.
Hi everyone!
In this video we are going to be breaking down the mechanics and strategy for normal and heroic Dathea Ascended, who you may choose to fight as the 3rd, 4th, or 5th boss in the instance.
Dathea Ascended is a single phase encounter that gets exponentially less complicated on lower difficulties. In Heroic, you fight the Ascended Dathea in a single phase with periodic casts on one of 3 platforms adjacent to the main platform where she is always active. On Normal, there is no interaction with these alternate platforms at all. She simply spawns 2 adds on her platform, you kill them, and continue. Also on Normal, you return to the platform after being knocked or falling off.
Let's break down the mechanics and strategy for Dathea Ascended, starting with Normal and then expanding into Heroic, due to the massive differences between them. To begin, let's talk about Conductive Mark, which is a debuff that should be applied to 2 targets per cast, scaling with raid size. The debuff shows a small radial indicator around your character, displaying the proximity at which you will spread the debuff to other players.
Simply pre-spread for every cast of Conductive Mark according to the timer and take care not to collide with other players and create more debuffs. This debuff is a dot, so healers should make sure to prioritize people with it for healing. On both Normal and Heroic, these debuffs expire and are not overly dangerous as long as they are not spread. This ability also heavily prioritizes ranged players as targets, although melee are not entirely excluded, so make sure to keep this in mind at all times.
Raging Burst targets players with whirlies that spawn tornadoes upon resolution. Simply avoid getting hit by that resolution. Collision with these tornadoes will cause you to take a significant amount of damage and be knocked up. Dathea will periodically cast Raging Winds, which does increased damage based on the number of tornadoes present in the play space. Healers should be aware and prepare for this damage.
The final ability that interacts with these tornadoes is called Crosswinds, and it functions very similarly to Recalibrate on King Mechagon in Workshop. Their tornadoes will show an arrow indicating their direction, as well as a ground effect that shows where their movement will terminate. Take care not to get hit by these tornadoes as they relocate.
The boss also periodically casts Cyclone, which is a channel cast which sucks all players towards her. Simply run against this effect and don't enter the circle under the boss. If you do, you'll take damage and be knocked up.
Dathea's tank ability is called Zephyr Slam. It does physical damage and knocks you back. The debuff it applies amplifies both effects by 50% per stack, so you should be swapping with your co-tank every 2 stacks.
On Normal, when Dathea casts Coalescing Storm, 2 volatile infusers will spawn into the arena. They will immediately begin to cast Diverted Essence. Make sure to kick this. When these adds die, they'll cast Blowback, which knocks you back from the ad's location. As the tank with these adds, make sure you pull them off to one side, and as the rest of the raid, make sure you position so that these knockbacks will not cause you to fall off the platform. Even though you cannot die by being knocked off on Normal, you'll lose a significant amount of uptime and falling off should be avoided.
That's pretty much all there is to Normal. Now let's talk about the Heroic differences and how to deal with them. As we've stated previously, on Heroic we gain interaction with the 3 adjacent platforms in the play space. When Dathea casts Coalescing Storm, a Volatile Infuser will spawn on the main platform, and a Volatile Infuser and 6 Thundercallers will spawn on one of the adjacent platforms. You will use the Volatile Infuser's on-death Blowback cast to send a small team to the adjacent platform to deal with the adds. You should send a tank, some DPS with strong burst AoE cooldowns, and a healer. You will want to make sure the Infuser on this adjacent platform dies last so that your team may easily return to Dathea's platform.
While on the ad platform, there are several things that you should be aware of. Firstly, being on an ad platform debuffs you with Thunderbolt, which should prevent you from going to the ad platform twice in a row. Secondly, the Volatile Infuser periodically casts Unstable Gusts, which targets players with swirlies that should be dodged. Thirdly, the Thundercallers spam cast Stormbolt, so you're going to want to use an ability like Mass Grip, or Silent Sigil, or Abomination's Limb to group the ads so that they may be CC'd and AoE'd down easily. As a raid, you'll want to have assigned teams to deal with the adds that spawn with every Coalescing Storm cast.
Outside of these changes, Dathea's main phase abilities function exactly the same as on Normal. All players should focus on pre-spreading for Conductive Mark casts and take care not to spread the debuff after it has gone out. DPS and healer players should dodge Raging Bursts, Swirlies, and Tornadoes relocating after Crosswinds casts. All players should be making sure that any Blowback casts are knocking them back somewhere that they actually want to go.
Tanks, make sure you swap on the boss at 2 stacks, and coordinate who is going to which ad platform when. Make sure you do not get knocked off the platform, and position Volatile Infusers appropriately.
And with that, we very much hope you found this guide useful. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave feedback or commentary in the comment section, and make sure to keep your eye on this channel as more guides will be coming out soon. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you in the next one.